Pandaria, her hills of gold, in dark and mournful times of old, did once a hopeless horror hold. When from her sacred veil did spring, with storm and flash, a monstrous thing, his name, Lei Shen, the Thunder King. His thunder boomed across the land, and none who dared and fought could stand against the Iron Tyrant's hands. A palace grand, a walled domain, such mighty works born of his reign, built by slaves, their hearts in chains. But seasons change and tyrants die, his fury spent in times gone by. The thunder slept beneath Kunlai.
Secure the remains, brothers.
By Zandalari hands, he has been taken. By Zandalari voice, he has awakened. Gather, heroes. Sound the drums. The Thunder King comes. The Thunder King comes.
Well, I hope that guy got you guys pumped up a little bit. Pretty decent trailer, though not as good as the one for the next raid, but we'll get to that next time. Of course, that trailer also did a good job of not hinting at a very special secret. And I know in the last video I said that you were going to see my Death Knight for the next 3. However, I had realized that I had remembered I wanted to use a specific character for this specific raid when we got to it in this series. Because, just to kind of give this away now, this is once again Blizzard deciding to implement something that would be heroic only. So, if you look at normal, it's like, oh, okay, a lot of bosses, and it ends with Lei Shen the Thunder King. That makes sense. And then you look at heroic, and you see Ra Den. And you're like, who's that? Turns out he is a boss that is only available if you play this raid on heroic. And as you can see, this is a pretty big raid. A lot of bosses here, a lot of real estate, a lot of floors. If you look at the map here, a lot of different floors here. So, and it's also some pretty interesting things to get here while you're here. There's a couple of mounts that you can be able to get, which I don't have. So, fingers crossed, we'll be able to get some of this stuff. There's also a lot of stuff here. I've only done this raid like a couple of times, and I don't think I've ever done it with this character. But I want, and here's another reason I decided I want to do it with this character. This. Well, no, not that one. Here we go. Look at this set. The Regalia of the Witch Doctor. This set looks awesome. Again, who are these vendors who apparently have these pieces? Gonna have to go on WoW ahead and find out because the game won't tell me which vendors have those pieces. Come on. Anyways. Now, we're not at the entrance because I realized this is actually a bit complicated. So in order to even get to the entrance of this raid, you actually have to go to, in the case of me being on the Horde, you have to go find this person here, because the raid is located at a place called the Isle of Thunder. Now, if you look at Pandaria, you'll see it in the main area here, and then you'll know up here, the Isle of Thunder. That's where the raid is. However, it's not in a place where you can just go ahead and fly over. I tried this. I tried flying over, and it was like, nope, you can't get there. And I'm like, why? Apparently, the only way to get there is by going to, in the case of the Horde, this NPC here, Scout Captain Elsie.
Glory to the Sindora.
Because this was apparently like a big event. There's no time to waste. The Alliance move on the Isle of Thunder as we speak. Every moment that we delay here gives Jaina and the Kirin Tor more of a hold on the Isle. Lorthamar awaits us. Speak to me when you're ready to depart. I will escort you there myself. Apparently, there was a Horde versus Alliance thing going on. Remember, in this expansion, the Horde and the Alliance were definitely at each other's throats. But with Garrosh doing a bunch of the stuff he was doing, how can you blame them, right?
Shirella Ron.
Alright, I'm ready to go. I already have that toy that she talked about, but
Pandaran
whatever.
legends
Doesn't really
tell
matter.
of Lei Shin, the Thunder King. He was the brutal founder of the Mogu Empire over 12,000 years ago. He united the Mogu, defeated the other Pandaran races, and founded a glorious nation with the slave labor of those he conquered. The Thunder King built a palatial fortress on the borders of his empire. We should see it soon.
just a heads up, I may be, because I hardly ever play Elemental. You guys know I main Enhancement. So I might be a little, like, rough around the edges and rusty when it comes to how I play Elemental. But then again, I'm at max level, and I'm at, like, a 351 item level. I think I'll be okay regardless, even if we are going to do this on 25 Heroic. Probably need to move this around a bit more, but again, I think I'll be okay. Totem Mastery. Again, I really wish you could have an Elemental as a permanent pet on as Elemental. There's a talent here to be able to, like, you'd have to give this up if you want to, and you could turn your Fire Elemental into this, a Storm Elemental. Hurls gusts of wind that damage enemies for 30 seconds, compared to the Fire Elemental, which rains destruction.
I greet you on behalf of Silvermoon.
Yeah, thanks, Lorthamar.
Aethys, leave us for a moment. Hero, you have served the Horde nobly across many campaigns. I feel I can take you into confidence. Our war chief's campaign across Kalimdor and Pandaria is pulling the Horde apart at the seams. We're here to fight the Thunder King. Justice demands it, and Hellscream is too preoccupied at Domination Point to pay attention here. But in defeating him, we must seek out the source of his great power. We must claim it for ourselves as leverage against our war chief. In the event of an uprising, we must be prepared.
This was definitely the expansion where Lorthamar.
Ha! It will feel good to bloody my blade again. Against Alliance or Mogu does not matter to me. Enough talk.
Where he became kind of an
how
awesome
precarious
character.
Our position is between the Alliance and the Thunder King. Only with the help of heroes like you can we hope to succeed here. Anarala Belore, hero. Good luck. Baladash Malanore. Never again shall a king reign in Silvermoon. Aldiel Shalah.
I'm just looking for a way to get to the Ah, here we go. The Court of Bones. Alright. So now we have finally made it to the Isle of Thunder. So that was kind of the complicated part. You had to talk to that person who flies you over to that ship, where you talk with Lorthamar, and now you just have to basically just go through here. This is another area. Look, you can't fly. This is another area that Blizzard apparently likes to stick it where there are certain areas in the game where you, no matter what, you're just not allowed to fly. So you have to go on foot all the way over to, just to this road, and it'll take you straight to the entrance of Throne of Thunder. And apparently there's also a world boss near the entrance that can spawn there, Nalak the Storm Lord, who has a chance to drop the Thundering Cobalt Cloud Serpent Mount. A mighty double sword. Of course, there'd be a bunch of enemies and elites such in the way. Of course, it doesn't matter now, but back in the day, it'd be like, oh, great. Wouldn't it be hilarious as if I get here and this world boss is like right there waiting for me? I mean, if that's the case, I'll take him down to see if I have a chance at getting the mount. And if the mount actually dropped, whoo boy. By the way, I don't think I said this already, but I mean, one of the reasons why I wanted to use my shaman here is because as Elemental, you're wielding the Fist of Ra-Den. Now, I'm not actually wielding the actual weapon. I'm using the transmog, but still. Of course, a lot of Zandalari. Oh, it's Tao Shi! Hey, Tao Shi. I like Tao Shi.
I am born of thunder!
No way, he is here. Oh no! Oh, but of course, they killed him before I could participate. Darn it! People just... Look, people are just sitting here, just waiting for him to spawn, and then they just keep farming him to hopefully get that mount. Ugh. You ever feel like that person who gets late to the party after the cool thing happened, and you're just looking there like, really? You guys couldn't have waited just a few more seconds for me? Really? So that I could have been part of it or participated? You ever feel like that? That's how this feels. I'm always the one who gets there late. Like, when a world boss spawns or something, they kill him before I have a chance to attack it, and then I get no credit and no shot at getting the mount. Or the transmog, or whatever the case may be. Unbelievable. I don't know what the spawn rate is of these world bosses. I don't know how long I would have to sit here and wait for this thing to actually respawn to have a shot at actually doing it. Oh my goodness. There's a Goblin Death Knight here. It was the same thing earlier with the Mogushan Vaults. Vid. Where I was about to do it, and then all of a sudden I hear the Shaw of Anger, and I'm like, oh, he spawned nearby. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see. And then I just see all these players here, and they're just sitting there waiting for the longest time to have a shot at actually killing him and having a chance at farming. And you notice how fast, this is a world boss. Nalak. This is a world boss, and he died within a matter of seconds. I do kind of like the idea of this world boss staying here, guarding the entrance to the raid. He's like, no, he's the Storm Lord. So, of course, he would, in fact, let's read what the lore is. When Lei Shen discovered a rare clutch of thundering cloud serpents, he was awed and set to subjugating them. The largest hatchling fiercely resisted, and when Lei Shen visited the handling pens, he laughed mightily at the charred Mogu that lined the walls. He took the hatchling for his own, and for its obedience, granted it power over the storms and the sky. For thousands of years following the death of the Thunder King, Nalak has guarded the walls of his hidden citadel, awaiting his return. So I like the idea that he became kind of a loyal guardian for Lei Shen, hoping that he would return someday, after being given incredible power. It's funny that he can also drop all this other PvP gear. You'll notice some of them are either Horde only or Alliance only. I mean, no one really cares about that anymore unless you're, bent on a certain set or something. This is what anyone comes here for, along with some of these other ones. Shaw of Anger, Shaw Touch Gold, the Canonic Serpent, of course. This is the Warband. This is the one I was referring to earlier, where apparently, yeah, it can drop a mount, which is like Gateway on the saddle, but it can also drop some other stuff here. Look at that! Look at that! It can also drop pieces of sets that you want, like this, like in the ones in the adventure guide. Undasta can drop the Cobalt Primordial Direhorn. And of course you have the 4 friendly spirits that you encounter at the Timeless Isle that you can fight. They don't drop any mounts, but they do drop some purple gear stuff if you want to do that. And they just kind of rotate one after the other there. So if you want to stay there and kind of camp to be able to do that, you can do that. Ordos, the Fire God, he can be able to drop a number of other things as well. This is something I would want. Look at that. Look at that wolf head there. That's pretty awesome. Go with my whole wolf transmog that I like to do for my shaman on occasion. Before working on the Nighthold set, as you can see, that I'm kind of rocking these days. I love going to the Nighthold and working on getting this set with this character. Tomb of Sargeras, I mean, I do have the shoulders. Wouldn't mind some of the other pieces. But let me check. What pieces drop from Kill Jaden? Looks like the hands. Well, looks like I'm never getting those hands unless they drop from Hargeton. And then this is the only piece from Antorus I have. I don't think I've ever participated in Mythic with this character. I should. The only problem is they're gonna ask me to play healer, and now since I got here. Wait, who? I have no idea who. Apparently someone was very happy with me. I don't know why. But you notice, since I got here, since they killed it, look at how many more players have shown up to try and farm this guy. And again, I don't know what the spawn rate of these world bosses are. How long it takes for them to respawn after they've been killed. I really have no idea. Would it be, I don't want to risk not being a part of it once. I've never killed any of these world bosses. I've never, because I always thought it's very rare for them to actually show up. Apparently, this is a time where they are spawning, I guess. Hold on a second. Alright. We are going to do this raid. I swear, okay? I will show you the Throne of Thunder raid in a bit, okay? I will show it to you. But I don't want to pass up on this chance to actually be a part of this, though I'm afraid people are going to kill him before I have a chance to be a part of it, so. Here, I'll take a moment to show off to everyone here. Be like, boom! Infinite Time Reaver mount. Admit it, everyone. I am showing off the rarest mount here. Don't deny it. I'm just saying. I know people who got. I told them that I got that mount, and they were just like, oh my, and they were like, oh my gosh, I hate you, because they were so jealous, because they always wanted this mount and it never dropped for them. All right, let me see here. World. Oops. Boss. Respawn. Rates. Wow. Okay, so apparently it's like 10 to 15 minutes. Oh my gosh. People come here and they wait 15 minutes each time. Actually, I wonder if you can only do this once and then you have to go because you won't get credit because you can only do it like once a day or whatever the rate is. I don't know. Alright. If this is going to take longer, I'm just going to make a cut here, because I've already had to make a cut, because of that trailer, where it spawns, and see if I can show it to you guys.
I am born you feel of thunder glow. The storm hot, the darkness before the storm.
Nope, just gold. I like how now we're all heading into the raid. Okay, well, at least I got the achievement. Alright. So now I have logged a victory, a attempt. A 1 in 2,000 chance of actually getting this to drop. Yeah, no. Oh well, at least I got some gold out of it. Alright, now that we are done with all that waiting, let's head on into the raid, shall we? Now, what is this? Like, wait a minute. What is this? Oh well. That might be a dungeon entrance. I ain't doing that. Let me just double check, because I think... Nope. There we go. 25 heroic. Alright, now that we're done waiting, let's head on inside to the raid. I almost dropped my phone there, sorry. So at least I got the achievement for being it. I don't expect to ever get that mount. That's a 1 in 2,000 chance. Look, I got the infinite time reaver, but you can... you're doing a lot of attempts very, very fast. Okay. Can you get rep with the Shadow Pan Assault if you do this raid? That's one thing I don't really like compared to enhancement. There's really not that much AoE, except for like chain lightning. I can't call down my lightning. And it's just kind of like, no. But I do like the single target dots I can put on enemies. Alright, so it looks like this is our first boss here.
The Thunder King, give me power. Come, I'll show you.
I should probably read the summary. When Pandaria separated from Kalimdor many thousands of years ago, a veil of mist kept outsiders from discovering the newly formed continent. The mist also hid a reminder of an ancient evil, Lei Shen's throne of thunder. During his rule, this fortress was the seat of the Thunder King's power. Even after his death, great swaths of corrupted energy lingered, and now the resurrected Thunder King and the Zandalari trolls intend to harness that energy to establish the reign of Lei Shen once again. You can see how this ends up playing kind of a somewhat role when we finally get to Zandalar in Battle for Azeroth. So our first boss here is Jinrock the Breaker. When the Thunder King awoke, he rewarded the most loyal and ambitious Zandalari trolls with power beyond their wildest dreams. The Berserker, Jinrock, was one of the first to receive the King's blessing, and even though Lei Shen's gifts nearly tore his body apart, the troll is now capable of calling the fury of the storm in battle. So let's see, he can drop my chest piece. Or not my chest piece, my shoulder piece, sorry. And that's it. Alright, let's hope he drops that. That'd be nice.
I must break you. Run away, little girl. Run away. Run away, little girl. Run away. Crush your bones.
Whoa! Ah!
Run away, little girl. Run away. You bit me.
Just picked me up and tossed me across the room. Increases healing taken, increases damage done, increases nature damage. That's a nice... Wait, why is that a debuff? That should be a buff. Ooh, a mace. Perfect. Alright, I got the set's boots. I got the bootsa. I got the bootsa and the tuna and the springer. I got the bootsa. Sorry. Hey, kudos if you can pick up what I was referencing there. So with this playstyle, with the amount of dots that I do have, like with the shocks, though obviously it's a little hard to use the earth shocks and earthquake, considering how slow it takes to build up maelstrom. Can I just boom? Nope, they're immune. I also don't have my boost on my Ghost Wolf. I don't recall what happens if I get hit by these spotlights. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Ah! Oh no! Ah! And we're all the way back at the beginning. Why do I have my healing search way over here? You can tell it's been a while since I've messed with the elemental spec. Again, I don't dislike elemental, because most people use elemental. Many people believe that elemental is better than enhancement. And I'm not going to say enhancement's better. I just feel it's more my style, and I'm more comfortable with it. And it's just that elemental is not what I want it to be. It's not what I would like it to be. I do like the idea of just, like, hurling the elements, like, as abilities, like ranged abilities, like spells. But I feel like they should take it further. Not just the power of the elementals as ranged attacks. But as I said this before, let us have an elemental as a permanent pet. What would be so wrong with that? Be careful here. I don't want a repeat of what we just went through. Just gotta run at the right angle. Okay. I think we're gonna be okay now. Oh, is this our next boss? No. See, putting those dots on there and then building up lava bursts there, I think is pretty cool. Though I wish I could be able to, use earth, build up Aeonstrom faster and use the Earth Shock and Earthquake more often. I just feel like they could do more. It's not that I dislike the spec. I just want them to do more with it to make it more fun and enjoyable, like in the same way that I feel with enhancement. Yeah. Why are you going back and forth like that? Come on. Go in a straight line. Stormbringer. Yeah, lava burst. Once it gets that proc, just is so good. If you haven't caught in some of my other videos, I have said that there is another shaman that I made on, like a Draenei shaman on the Alliance that I plan on only playing either as Elemental or Resto.
To the rebirth of the Zundalari Empire. The tribes have assembled. Ye face not one force, but the combined might of all the Troll Empire. The hand of Zul will span all the continents of Azeroth once again. And ye lesser races will know pain. Now witness the true might of the Beast Ward. The Kala de Chuka Horadon. Kalamaste.
Alright, so this is Horadon. Pretty obvious it's a big dire horn. This is one of those that has a chance to drop a mount, it looks like it. And oh, I want that mount really badly. The Zandalari brought powerful creatures with them to the Isle of Thunder. To the Isle of the Thunder King to use as engines of war, led by the war god Jalek. The Dinomancers of the Zandalari Beast Ward use ancient tribal magics to strengthen the great beasts and command obedience. The horns of Horadon, the fabled mount of Jalek himself, can tear through the stone walls of a keep as a blade cuts silk. So, it also has a chance to drop a Pygmy Direhorn pet, which I don't have. Hopefully I can get that as well. A staff. And of course, Horadon. Let's take a look at that. Let's look it up. Here it is. I really want this mount. What does my rarity add-on say about its drop rate? Let us see if I can spot it here. Here it is. A 1 in 66 chance. That's actually not that bad. That's not that bad at all. Oh, here's hoping.
Rocky tribe, flay their flesh with the fury of the sands.
Beware.
At spawned.
Now it be my turn. You
S.
gotta
Fund.
see what it means to be a war god.
Beware.
It's probably a bad idea for me to stand here, but I think I'll be okay. Nope. No pet and no mount. That's sad. Huh. What a shame. I did get more legs, chest, and back. I already had that apparently. Chest, let's see. Here we are. Alright, so now I have those two pieces for this set. Very nice. Let's continue. Starting to get my Zandalari troll voice back. Gosh. The instant cast of Frost Shock. I feel like I'm playing my priest and I can just be like, Shadow Word Pain! Shadow Word Pain! Shadow Word Pain!
These fools thought they beat me once before. They only make me stronger. Now we show them the true power of the Zandalari!
Huh. Nice try there, Garajal. Knockback.
The Zandalari cannot be stopped.
Really?
I don't have a target.
Really?
I need a target.
I have a target. Ugh. If they ever do a time walking of this raid, people are just gonna lose their minds. Especially with some of these ads.
Earthquake! The Thunder King's power! The Zandalari will be reborn!
Oh my gosh, stop rezzing them! Alright. We're not there yet. I'll hold off. This is going to be a long one, just letting you guys know, because I said this is a long raid, it's a big raid, so this is going to be a long video.
The Thunder King will reward us for stopping ya.
Sure, he will. Except you won't stop me and I'll take him down as well. What?
Li Sheng, let us prove to you the might of the Zandalari. We will crush these intruders where they stand. We will never fail ya.
You know, I'll bet it's hilarious to come through here as a Zandalari troll after you've unlocked them. Someday I will unlock them. I just haven't really committed to that rep grind yet. Alright, so our next boss, the Council of Elders. The history of the Troll tribes, the Drakari, the Faraki, the Amani, and the Gurubashi is awash with millennia of betrayal and conflict, but the Zandalari's promise of a new unstoppable empire has finally united. Hold on. With these guys deciding to attack me here. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, now they're all dead. Alright. Promise of a new unstoppable empire has finally united these desperate troll leaders. They just cannot stand the fact that they were the power in this world. They were the dominant power, and they lost it. And they can't stand that fact, and they have to try and get it back. They have to. Because it just drives them insane. Like, the amount of lost pride on their part of having lost this incredibly strong and powerful empire that they had so long ago, and they just can't stand the idea that they lost it.
Witness the power of the Spirit Finder! Incoming!
Winter is coming. I return.
Please!
Apparently I'm rooted.
Out the way!
Beware.
The Empire can't fall.
Wrath of the Lord.
Spirit Finder reveals your soul to me.
Out the way!
Chandra, save.
Beware.
Let me turn that down a little bit in case I was a little loud for you guys. Sorry. The last stand of the Zandalari. Creature leaving the center rings. But as I was saying earlier, I'll bet it's kind of hilarious to kind of come through this raid once you've unlocked a Zandalari troll and you've made a Zandalari troll character and you level them to the point where you can come in here and solo this, and it's just kind of like you are taking down these people who I don't know if I've ever found out how Rastakhan felt about what they were doing here. If he ever did find out. I know Zul probably was fully aware of what was going on here because we encountered the Mogu in Zandalar in BFA. The Storm Bridge. Oh, look at that. We'll be able to just walk in and handle this no problem. Oh, hold on.
You have swept the filth from my doorstep. Perhaps you are worthy of my attention. But your trespass ends here. None may enter my forbidden stronghold. I shall rebuild this bridge with your bones for bricks.
Well, that's inconvenient. So it looks like we have to find another way inside. So, this next boss up ahead is Tortos. Kind of on the nose with the name there. Over the millennia, small amounts of Mogu flesh-shaping magic seeped into the caverns below the Thunder King's citadel. The dark energies warped one of the chamber's native dragon turtles, melding it to the surrounding crystalline walls, known as Tortos. This amalgamation of flesh and stone, has since feasted on the cave's rich mineral deposits and grown to a colossal size. What's this? To all enemies, every second 4.5 seconds, costs 100 fury to cast. Alright, let's see if I can just go ahead and nuke this guy then. Really? Whee! You sound like mutalisks. I wonder what the point of those crystals are. Maybe it says in the guide. You know what? Whatever. Let's just take him down.
Four, three.
Hey, I got the shoulders. Woo! Yes! I think I also got, what, the belt? No, the wristbands. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, we're having to go through these underground caverns to try and find our way into the Thunder King's palace. Yeah, as you can imagine, there's a lot of nasty things down here. Yeah, here's one of the things that we can deal with. Yeah, those mushrooms are not great in terms of what they do. And of course, there's fungal growths. You guys remember these things, right? From Wrath? Back in places like, you know, the Nerubians Empire? Yeah. You remember, what was his name? From, Lotheb. Lotheb from, Noxramas? Yeah. Oh, and that's what happens, usually, if you come into contact with these mushrooms. So, before we can take on the next boss, we have to take down these things here, these Eternal Guardians. Because we have to take down those bells. For whom the bell tolls. There's another one right over there.
I'm out of range.
Oh. An ancient Mogu bell. An ancient beast stirs within the mists. But we haven't awoken it yet. There's one more, I believe. Just one more. Let's go and avoid all these mushrooms and all this trash. Keep in mind, when you did this at level, when it came live, all this stuff would usually just aggro to you right away. I imagine a lot of this trash completely sucked back in the day. Because it looks like it would. Megara rises from the mist. Yeah. Megara. Megara. Let's go with Megara. Just like in Hercules. Even the most callous among the Mogu quaver at the thought of the dark experiments performed at the Thunder King's behest. Long ago, a young cloud serpent was twisted into a multi-headed hydra and left to languish beneath Lei Shen's throne. Now the twisted creature lurks deep in the forgotten depths, awaiting the moment it may finally inflict its terrible agony upon others. When one of Megara's heads is destroyed, her body takes damage equal to the head's maximum health, and 2 heads regrow in its place. Cut off 1 head, 2 more shall take its place. Hail Hydra! What? What? I couldn't resist. Come on, you know. You know. Pretty looking things, aren't they?
Beware.
Boom. So I'm getting some debuffs here. Stun for 20 seconds at 4 stacks.
Beware. Beware.
You just kind of have to keep on going until it just runs out of heads. Because, like, obviously all the heads are down, but you have to kind of just keep on going until, like, you have to just keep taking down head after head until eventually his health, or her health runs out to 0. That's kind of how it works. So you kind of have to just stand here and just kind of take these shots. Fortunately, I'm not getting those debuffs anymore, but still. 2 minutes. Man, I forgot that those things can stay there for a long time. Now we'll get the other head. Alright, almost there. You just kind of, again, you just have to just keep on taking these down. The first time I was confused, I thought I was doing something wrong, but I realized you just have to keep going until it just kind of runs out of heads to throw at you. Move away! Ice Wolf to run around. Yay! Nice. Nice. Ooh, that looks like the belt. Yes, it is. Look at that. I'm getting a lot of pieces for the set here. This is great. By the way, this raid has its own separate category of achievements. Glory of the Thundering Raider. And the reward you get is the Armored Sky Screamer. And you have to do all these achievements. How many do I not have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I just have to come here and do those, and I'll get this mount here. Let's take a look at it. There it is. Not exactly a mount I would be dying for. There is a mount, however, I am very, very close to getting and very excited to get. It's, this one right here. I am 2 achievements, and believe it or not, it's the 2 that are in Throne of the Four Winds. So I just need to do the 2 achievements you have to do in there, and I'll get this mount here for getting that achievement. Of course, it would be nice if this one also dropped from Alec here, and this is the one from the dungeon. This is the one from Bread Peninsula, which I more than likely am never going to get. Because that's the PvP area, and you guys know I don't PvP in this game. So, oh well. I'm okay with getting 3 out of those 4 wind mounts anyway. I'm more than fine with that. Alright, so now we get into an area that, well, if you guys know me, you know I just love. Look, you notice all these webs around? You can imagine what that means. Yep. Spiders! Ah! Get them away! Ah! Burn them with fire! Ah, yeah, yeah. Oh, and worms. Even better. That's even better. Oh, great. Fly swarms. So, you gotta be careful. Oh my gosh! Ah! What in the world? So you see one up there? Yeah. You can avoid them dropping on you as long as you go the right way. Oh, and don't take these things on. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these things are elites. They also, like, can insta-kill you. Now, maybe because I'm playing ranged, maybe I can actually pull this off. Of course, it's gonna take him a long time to get to me. There we go. Got him. Because apparently he can drop a pet. What? What? Final resting place of Hakan of the 100 Spears. Okay. I'm not sure if I've ever gotten that before. I'm not really sure what that does. Or, like, how to use that, or where that place is. Or who Hakan is. I don't think I recall at the moment. So you're like, oh no, one of these things, yep. So you basically just have to try and see, at this point, if you can just go ahead and kill it. Because you'll just aggro it, and if it gets to you, it pretty much kills you. It's one of those kinds of trash that kind of can insta-kill you. So you see those webs on the floor? Yeah, you can pretty much guess that's where a spider is going to be hanging above. So if you don't want more of those attacking you, just kind of go to the other side and avoid it. Now this is a tricky one here because there's a spider right up there, and there's a pod right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and blast the pod to be able to try to use it and get out of the way. I'd rather deal with these things than deal with the spiders, Plus, the fact that these things apparently drop a pet is like, whoa, cool. Oh my gosh.
I need to target something first.
That lava burst damage. Okay. No more spiders, right? Please? Nope, I was wrong. Ah! I got thrown here. Whoa. And of course, they're all around. Oh, that just makes me feel so much better. Alright, so this is our next boss, who has a chance to drop a mount. Jikun. Mogu flesh shapers discarded their failed creations. In an abyssal shaft beneath Lei Shen's keep, the reek of decay lured many scavengers to the refuse pit, including the great Jikun. Ruthless and cunning, the monstrous bird devoured her rivals one by one until she held sole dominion over the shadowy tunnel. So she has a chance to drop a mount called the Clutch of Jikun, which I guess is a mount very similar to her. She also has a chance to drop a pet version as well. I have neither, so let's hope this is a fortunate encounter. Apparently, look at that. Hold on. What's the drop rate on this mount? 1 in 50 chance. That's actually not that bad. The mount has a better drop rate. 2 out of 50. You see at the bottom right is what I'm looking at. The mount has a better drop rate than the pet does. I don't remember the last time I've seen that. Ooh, that reminded me of that one boss in that dungeon in Draenor with the feathers flying at you. Oh, man. Hey, I got the staff. But no pet or mount. What a shame. Oh well. At least I got a staff. Alright, so now I believe I pick up one of these to continue. Take flight for a short period of time. Oh. Whee! I'm trying to remember where exactly do I go here. That's where I was. Oh, that's where I gotta go. Okay. Alright, now we're going to start to get into the home stretch, kind of get close to the area we're supposed to be. The Watcher's Sanctum. Creepy room. Defeat the ambush. Boom.
I need you closer.
was that? Oh. Here's some gold.
Thousands of years without new playthings. I will enjoy this.
This is Durumu the Forgotten. Lei Shen commanded his sorcerers to mold an aberration that could peer into the hearts of his followers and detect betrayal. From this decree, Durumu was given life. The clever entity stubbornly obeyed its masters until the Thunder King's death, at which time it disappeared into the Citadel's labyrinthian corridors. Only recently has Durumu, all but forgotten by the Mogu, emerged from hiding. Okay.
Behold the power of the void.
There you go.
The void's embrace.
Oh my gosh, look at that crossbow. This next area. Look at these things. You're gonna see a lot more of them in here. The Halls of Flesh Shaping. Yes, it sounds as gross as it sounds. Oh, wait. That was a little redundant. It is as gross as it sounds. That's what I meant. I messed it up.
So dark.
I believe this is our next boss. Yes, it is. Primordius. Deep within the bowels of Lei Shen's island citadel, Mogu flesh shapers.
Forgotten. No.
Anyways. Flesh shapers formed the Saurok out of a magical substance of unknown origin. When the citadel was abandoned, some experiments.
You're the perfect one, yes. Not a failure, no, not a failure.
Some experiments languished in the dark pools for far too long. Sounds kind of like Gollum, doesn't he?
What is this? What do they want? To banish us? No. I'm out of range. Oh, your flesh, yes. So perfect. Give it to us.
I gotta say, I'm surprised at how little damage I'm doing to him.
The power returns.
notice how they're all fixating on me right now?
Earthquake! Again to the cold darkness.
Yeah, he's gross. He's very gross. Alright, we are almost there. We're starting to get to the final stretch here.
Stop them! The animus must not be disturbed!
Oh gosh, this boss in this room. Whoops. The Dark Animus. During his reign, Lei Shen labored to build a mechanical servant that would defend his citadel without fear. When his first attempt failed, rage took hold of the Thunder King. He poured this negative emotion into his next and most successful creation, the Dark Animus. To this day, the ornate construct observes its duty, empowered by the mysterious substance at the heart of all Mogu flesh-shaping experiments. Let's see. You can drop the chest piece. A pet I don't have, the Son of Animus. A dagger. I already have that mace. Okay. Let's hope he drops the pet then.
The power, it cannot be wielded this way. You tempt forces you do not understand. I don't have a target. You have doomed yourselves. It is unleashed.
Yikes.
Run away, little girl. Run away. Run away, little girl. Run away.
Oh man, I would love to come through here with my Death Knight and get that headpiece there. Alright, let us continue. Again? Really? What are you... Get out of here. Let's just try and ignore these. Almost there. The Grand Courtyard. Hey. This would be a place where you would step outside in case you want to, I don't know, get something for the rest of this raid. Okay. The Iron Khan. Legends speak of the brutality of Khan and his Quellan champions. Khan! The fearless Mogu commander was dubbed Iron Khan by the Thunder King for his relenting resolve to claim victory after victory for the Empire, regardless of the cost. He was dedicated to the Emperor.
Show your enemy the meaning of pain. Strike quickly, Manchu. Show them no mercy. They are no match for Manchu.
I don't know, I think we took that monster pretty well. And Rorschach.
It's too far away. Rorschach, grant me wings of flame. Quetzal, unleash the storm upon my enemies. Useless! Tamarin, freeze them to oblivion. Worthless mongrels. More training.
Got a dagger. And an offhand. Okay. I already had the shoulders, so no big deal. Twin consorts. Oh my. The twin consorts are said to be the greatest of the Thunder King's treasures, rumored to be the only known female Mogu in existence. Lei Shen keeps his trophies close and their combined arsenal against interlopers closer. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear what the word consort means in the Warcraft setting. If the Mogu treat their consorts like the dragon flights treat their consorts. Ah, okay, they're in the next one. I thought they were about to spawn here and be like, who dares interrupt? You know what's gonna be great? The run back after we beat Lei Shen. Ah, look at this. Well, hello, my ladies. I can immediately interact with this.
I'm out of range.
More kindling for the flame. Come, Lulin, let us burn them to ash.
If I must.
Beware.
Guess there's really nothing I can do. There's probably a mechanic that I'm just kind of not really recognizing that you were supposed to use those for. Maybe?
The light.
Looks like I got the hands for the set. The fingers of the night. Oh my. So I believe, yep, next is the Thunder King himself. I'll read that in a moment. So this is the Thunder Lord. Isn't Lord a more important title than King? Well, I guess maybe it depends on which setting we're referring to. No, that's right, because at least in certain settings, when they say Lord, they're usually just referring to a noble, as opposed to the king, where they would say, like, Your Grace, for example. The Emperor's Shield. See, that's a more appropriate title.
You have earned my ire. I will make an example of you, such that all who look upon my might will tremble and submit.
And there he is. Oh, I remember the first time I tried this fight. There's a mechanic that, of course, insta-kills you if you let it. Now, I kind of wisened up to it, and plus there's another raid that does a similar thing that I've learned to anticipate it. But let's just say the first time I was like, oh my gosh, come on. Lei Shen, tyrant, dictator, conqueror, emperor. These titles of the Thunder King were earned by bringing absolute misery to every race of Pandaria, resurrected into a world where his people no longer rule. Lei Shen is bent on ending the farce and bringing the land under his heel once more. He's got, of course, a lot of mechanics. Some of them, of course, being heroic only. The Helm of Command. Force the target off the platform. That's the one I'm referring to. What can he drop here? He can drop a mace, surging with power. A shield. Ultimate protection of the Emperor. The Emperor. It's kind of a silly looking shield, but makes sense. Wouldn't he want his guardians to have shields with his look on them? To the displacement pad. Alright, let's see how this goes. Huh.
I am Lei Shen, slayer of kings and gods. You have made a grave mistake. For you would challenge me in my
Oh gosh, this is the one right here.
Witness your folly!
It's a good thing I've got that Spirit Wolf buff on me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ah! Oh my gosh.
3, 2,
Look at this!
1.
There he is. Come here, Lei Shen.
I crush myself. Let us see how you fare.
Good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nothing. I wield the power of the heavens. 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's a good thing I'm able to pretty much, like, ignore all this.
Earthquake.
The power of the elements. Aid me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I wish you could have a line dialogue like, "You think you are the king of the element of thunder? I am the farseer of the earth and ring. I am the true Thunder King."
Beware.
There we go.
To finish the work of the gods.
And now, observe what happens when we do this on heroic. Secret chamber unlocks. Back in the room where we fought Primordius. I wonder what could be down there. So, I believe now we have to kind of make our way back over there. Oh, that's right. I forgot. It actually puts me back in this room. Now, I want to stress that what's about to happen next is kind of a big deal. And this is one of the reasons why this expansion should have actually been known by many people as the expansion where we learned more about the Titans than we ever did before. Because look at who is waiting for us in this room. A hidden cell. Note this up at the top. Attempts remaining. That's right, you get a limited amount of attempts to actually take down this boss. Considering how often we heard tales about back in the day, guilds and groups would wipe out constantly so many times before they finally took down the boss, the fact that this was a thing, I don't think any other boss has ever had this. Ra-Den. Lei Shen's life changed forever when he stumbled into a dark chamber below what are now the Mogushan vaults. Legend has it he found an ancient Titan keeper guarding a miraculous device known as the Engine of Nalak Shah. No one knows what transpired between the two beings, but Lei Shen later emerged from the site bristling with the power to forge an empire. The Keeper's fate and his current whereabouts remain a mystery. There are no scholars with any recollection or record regarding the details of Ra-Den's powers. Perhaps these memories have been obscured by the passage of time, or perhaps none who saw the Keeper of Storms in battle ever lived to speak of what they witnessed. This is awesome. So we get some armor stuff. Lots of different options here. No real weapons, but then again, why would I need one? Because I have his weapon right here. At least this is the secret appearance version of it. It's kind of a Zandalari troll version, right? Which is fitting for this raid, isn't it? But yes, that is Ra-Den, the fallen keeper of storms. This is a Titan keeper. This is a big
For
deal.
millennia I have waited in darkness, in silence, pierced only by the shrieks of the tormented, my dreams a waking nightmare. I see the naive hope in your eyes. You think you are my saviors? Wring that mocking pity from your hearts and focus it inwards, for you shall soon know my agony. This twisted world is beyond redemption, beyond the reach of deluded heroes. The only answer to corruption is destruction. And that begins now.
Note what he said there. The only answer to corruption is destruction. For as long as we have known anything about the Titans, that has pretty much been very true. That's just their mentality. That's their mindset. Every single time we have had an occurrence where a Titan technology or something in that regard encountered something that was corrupted, their response was, destroy it. We see this. I'm thinking of, did we encounter anything Titan related back in Burning Crusade? I don't believe we did. I think the earliest we may have actually encountered anything Titan-related in this regard was in Wrath, when we were finding out about the Titans in Storm Peaks, which of course went into Ulduar, and that was Algalon's mindset. And that has been the case all the way up through to Legion, where in the Shadow... Well, no, in the Priest, just the Priest Mount Quest, it was because they saw that the Shadow Priest version was void, it was, oh, destroy it. Because their mentality is, oh, you're corrupted. Go die. That is exactly the mindset that the Titans have. So Ra-Den having this exact same mindset is no surprise whatsoever. I don't remember how this encounter really goes, so we'll see how this goes.
When I am finished with you, I shall not rest until this world is cleansed. 4, 3, 2, 1. The touch of creation and destruction. This is the taste of my power. You still think victory possible? Ha! Fools! Wait! I am not your enemy. You are powerful, more powerful than he was even. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps there is still hope. But there is a yawning chasm of darkness beneath you mortals, vast, endless, and all-consuming. I do not believe that you can correct this doomed course, but you have earned the right to try. Farewell.
So 2 things. One, he pretty much reached the same conclusion that Algalon did back in Ulduar, where he didn't necessarily think that we could do it, but he felt that we had earned the right to try because of our will to live, and how, or at least that was Algalon's response. Here, he's like, okay, so perhaps you're right. You are very powerful. So perhaps you can't fix this, but you have earned the right to try. So, I'm just saying, this is kind of becoming a recurring thing, and that becomes a kind of a recurring thing in all the way up to the point where we get to Legion and Antorus, where even Amanthul's like, all right, the times has come to fight to save the fate of your world. So. A cloak, or rather a cape. All right. And the second thing is that is the last time that we have actually heard from Ra-Den. We have not seen or heard from him since. The only time he came up is this right here. This artifact weapon. The fact that it was called the Fist of Ra-Den, it was kind of like, okay, but that's pretty much been it in regards to Ra-Den. So that is the Throne of Thunder, the heroic version. If you want to have this encounter with Ra-Den, you have to do this on heroic. The normal version will end with you beating Lei Shen. So, like I said, pretty long raid. Lots of really good stuff to get in here, though. Along with some very cool looking sets. So, we thwarted the Thunder King, and we released Ra-Den, and who knows when he will come back. I mean, we pretty much ended our storyline for the most part with the Titans at the end of Legion, but I'm pretty sure, considering what's, some other stuff, we could probably hear from them again, and I hope we hear from Ra-Den again at some point in the future. I hope this is not an abandoned plot thread. I hope this is something that will come into play. The fact that he left and he escaped and he just said farewell, I hope he's like out there recovering, and he'll come back at some point, either to aid us or to get involved with something, or even be against us. Who knows? Who knows? I just hope it's not abandoned and forgotten about. So this was the Throne of Thunder on heroic. Up next, however, the finale of Mists of Pandaria, where we finally take down you know who in the Siege of Orgrimmar. Stay tuned.